One of the problems with dealing with destructive emotions, especially anger, is it wears many masks. Many people that I talk to say, well, I don't have a problem with anger. I mean, I don't scream at people. I don't lose my temper. I don't have a problem with anger. Well, maybe you have a problem with anger because you're human like all the rest of us, but it wears a different mask. And because you don't know that mask, you think, well, anger is not an issue with you. Universally, as people have read this book or listened to this series or done the small group DVD with us, I've just had people tell me, I had no idea. I had one woman, had a chance to teach at a conference, and she turned to me when we got done. She goes, you know, I'm 74 years old, and I, until the last 2 days, did not know that I've been stuffing my feelings and my anger, my bitterness, and the long-term season I've had with depression has to do with me not recognizing anger or how to deal with it. And so I'm really excited about the next 2 or 3 days as we're going to talk about the many faces of anger. There are 3 primary faces. Face number 1 is the one that we're used to and that we recognize quickly, the spewer. This is the person who, you know, their neck bulges. This is the person they scream and they get really loud and things like that. And we all go, ooh, brother, whether that's a mom or dad or a brother, a coworker, or maybe you play pickup sports with someone or you play a game with these people and you realize, my lands, you know, stay out of their way. The second one is not the spewer. This is what I call the stuffer. These are people that they seem mild-mannered, calm, they never get angry. Well, what they're doing is they take those same emotions and feelings when they feel betrayed, when they get rejected, when people don't come through for them, when something is really unfair. And what they do is they stuff it down in here, and they stuff it down in here. And we're going to learn it does physiological things, but also psychological things. Often they have learned somewhere along the line that it's wrong to be angry. The third is what I call the leaker. The psychologists call it being passive-aggressive. This is when you believe that anger is really not right and you're not allowed to be angry, but you're still angry. And so this is sort of my type. I'm a little bit this way. And so this is that person when you're driving in your car and someone's right on the back of your bumper and you're really angry. Well, a spewer will, you know, flash the brakes or let him go by and then get behind him. A stuffer will just get out of the way and feel very angry and not say anything. Well, a leaker will find a big truck on the right and then get level with the truck. And then what you do is, you know, you slow up and then you slow up. And then you don't look in the mirror and you just kind of go like this. And you know that guy's right on your bumper and he's getting very, very, very mad. And so those are the 3 major ways that we express our anger. We spew, we stuff, or we leak. Now, what I want to talk about briefly today is the spewer. And this is a person who explodes. They're like a time bomb. The message they believe is that anger is necessary. With them, they say, I'm mad and you better get out of the way. The reasons for expressing their anger is this. He says, it can give them a false sense of power. They believe it helps them release pent-up energy or negative emotions, and they feel like, I just can't help myself. I remember a man, we were talking about a spewer on a call-in radio program out of Chicago, and in tears, he said, you know, I'm the leader of my family, I'm the leader of my church, people have no idea. I scream at my family, and I'm then so remorseful, and I tell them I'm sorry, but I've done this over and over and over, it's such a pattern. And in tears on the phone, he's telling me, I can't stop myself, I can't stop myself. We're going to learn how you don't have to be angry. We have control of our emotions, but this is a tough one for spewers. How they blow up? Well, they yell, they scream, they push, they shove, they intimidate, they're aggressive, they're very demanding. Often they get very repetitive. And here's the results. Spewers, listen carefully. They wound others and themselves. You actually lose control and power. And it's just a false sense of power. People just retreat from you. You lose respect. You have feelings of guilt. You strain relationships. And often, you know, there comes a day when some people retaliate when you spew against them. What do spewers need? You need to develop, and we'll learn how to develop a longer fuse. You need to control and acknowledge that you have an anger problem. And finally, you need to know that this is destructive. And it's going to produce long-term pain. Spewers find themselves as very, very lonely people and very little intimacy. God wants better for you. Are you a yeller, a screamer, a spewer? You know what? If you're not sure and you think you might, what if you had the courage today to ask a close friend, a roommate, one of your kids if you're married, or even your mate, and say, you know what, do you think I handle my anger appropriately? Do you feel like I'm a little over the top at times? Be gentle and just ask. And when you can own that you have an issue or a problem, that is the first step to real change.